What kind of water do you use when you do your fasting?
We use purified water, so we use fractionally steam distilled water, kind of laboratory grade distilled water. But you could use other types of purification, reverse osmosis and whatnot. You just want to get the hydrogenated halocarbons and the chlorine and the fluoride and all the other crap out of the water. Spring water, you never know if it's going to be pure or not. Even rainwater, which would be distilled water, can be contaminated with materials from the atmosphere. So we use either mechanically or electrically purified water.
So, would you suggest or say the cleanest water we can ingest is either distilled or RO water?
Yeah, distilled water is that's why laboratory grade water is distilled water.
So now, if for your regular diet, besides fasting, is that the type of water you use for yourself?
Absolutely. You know, the idea that, oh, it's going to suck the minerals out of your body is nonsense. You're not drinking water for its mineral content. And in fact, a lot of the minerals in there you want to avoid, lead, mercury, etc. What you're you get more minerals in one apple than you're going to get in all the water you're going to be drinking. So let's not think of water as a primary source of minerals, good or bad minerals. Let's think of our vegetables as a source of minerals. And the intestinal tract is not a two-way gradient. You're not sucking all the minerals out of your body. That's just nonsense. That's an advertising product from the people that used carbon filters because they were competing with the water distillers.
Sure.
And
And
so,
if you are,
it's just
yeah, I'm sorry, finish what you say.
nonsense.
Yeah.
Some of this stuff is not based on physiology.
Yeah. So if you are going to use distilled water, does it matter what type? If you distill tap water, it's perfectly healthy and fine.
Well, you can distill any water. It ends up being just H2O if you have a good distillation system and a post-filter system.
So it doesn't matter
So
if
the
there
way
are
we do it is
toxins.
we filter the water, we then steam distill it, and then it comes through a filter at the end. So anything that comes off at the same temperature as water would be filtered by your solid carbon block
Yeah, but I'm
filters.
saying you filter the water first. What would it make a
Yeah.
difference if somebody was doing this at home and they didn't filter the water first? Does it make a difference?
Well, you'll get a little higher quality, product if you filter it. And most distillers have a pre-filter on it.
Okay.
What ends up happening is if you don't filter the water, you get a lot of mineral buildup in the tank, and so you have to service your distiller more effectively. It just makes more sense to filter it, distill it, and then post filter it, which is how most distillation systems are set up. But yeah, I mean, it
Okay.
doesn't matter. You can take the worst water, you steam distill it, and it's going to get rid of the majority of materials that are contaminating the water.
And what's the difference between the distilled water and the RO water?
RO water is not quite as efficient as distillation and post filtering. It gets most of the stuff, but it's not quite as pure. That's why for laboratory where you need just H2O, they use distillation. But for drinking purposes, any of those are generally going to get most of the materials. The other thing with reverse osmosis, you have to change those membranes or you start losing efficiency. And you also want to get things like cryptosporidium and other contaminants that can show up in water. Distillation does that, and heat processing, you know, gets rid of a lot of those potential contaminants.
What about these new water machines that make water from humidity?
Well, it's interesting. I don't know that there's any great utility or efficiency there, but they take it out of the air, so that's fine. And you can spend thousands of dollars for a Keegan water system, and they'll tell you that they're going to magically make it
Alkaline, yeah.
alkaline, etc. And if I don't think that that's necessary or even desirable, but you could throw baking soda in water and alkalize it. It doesn't necessarily make it.
But if you
There's no
get
magic there.
but if you get the water from the humidity, does that matter the quality of the air, or that has no play in it, or you don't even know that technology?
Well, I think I mean, you'll have to check with those people.
Yeah,
I have no experience using
sure.
these devices, but I don't see any great utility in drawing it from the air. I imagine you have the same potential cross contamination issues, but
Yeah.
Nature's wealth, good for your health. This is the raw life.